I've thought about it, and I'm now thinking there might be one that comes along, but I don't want to force it for the sake of forcing it. Some of the ideas in the one world. I mean, actually, all of the ideas. A friend recently asked me over the weekend, "Hey, you wrote that 10 years ago. What would you change if you wrote it today?" And really, I wouldn't change much. I might change some of the stories. Obviously, there's been newer stories that we've had over the last 10 years, but like some of the core ideas, personalization, mastery learning, which we've talked a lot about, I believe that more than ever. A lot of what I write about in the book is what the future of your transcript should look like. I said, one, it should be your competencies. What are the academic core knowledge and skills that you have mastered, like we've talked about? The next could be some type of peer-based narrative assessment. This is something that we're trying to implement on schoolhouse.world, where people give you feedback on how good of a tutor you are and how good of a student you are. And then the third should be your portfolio of work. And I think we're starting to explore ways of even assessing portfolios of work so that, it's not just a portfolio, but an employer or college admissions can say, oh, wow, this is a very impressive portfolio of work. It's been rated by peers. So I think notions like that, I think notions of really challenging what the school day looks like. The school day was architected, roughly 150, 200 years ago, when you had one parent at home. Many people were farmers. The world has changed since then, so we're also pushing the envelope there. One area above and beyond everything I've just talked about, Khan Academy, we want to have all of the core academic material from pre-K through the core of college. We want to make it engaging, have this layer of tutoring through Schoolhouse, be able to give people credit for what they're doing. So those are all ideas we're still working on that come from the One World Schoolhouse. Some of the ideas, in the US, you might be familiar, there's a huge debate about college education because it's so expensive. So many students have debt. And it's an issue globally to various degrees, but the US in particular has a great higher education system, but it's also a very expensive one. And even great could be debatable because many students, even in the US, graduate from college and have trouble getting a job that you would expect of a college graduate. So I am really interested in thinking, hey, are there ways to reimagine the whole thing, all the way from kindergarten, all the way to getting a career? Could there be elements of, if you really master that advanced high school or early college level content, your statistics, you can write really at a college level, biology, chemistry, physics, your history, your calculus. If you really have mastered that, I actually think you're more educated than most college graduates. And then you should get an apprenticeship. I was just writing a little thing between someone to just get their feedback. Even 150 years ago, most white collar professions were done via apprenticeship. Whether you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, it was done via apprenticeship. And today you go to university for 4 years and then you get your first job at Google and you kind of have to be retrained all over again. Or you get your first job someplace else, retrained all over again. So I think I am intrigued. If there was another book, it might be about that. Or it might be about, I have theories that because so much that Khan Academy has been on this interesting journey, I sometimes tell team members that benevolent aliens are helping us prepare humanity for first contact. So that could be my other book, the kind of science fiction benevolent aliens help prepare us for first contact.